Hey Flo. Okay, good morning. Today I'm taking you on a Bedlam Farm Garden Tour. The first ever Bedlam Farm Garden Tour with Minnie the Barn Cat and Lenore and Red. No, Red, we're not doing sheep. We're doing a garden tour. Come here, Red. We're doing a garden tour. Thank you. Good boy. Thank you. All right. This is Garden 1. I don't know what's any of the gardens. I don't know what I plant. I just plant them and see what happens. I know there's some pansies, and I know peonies have come up, and I know there's Florence's irises. This garden is by the back of the house. We dug it out. There were some old plants here. It was kind of overgrown. Florence was 104 when she passed away, so I think she couldn't take care of it quite as well as she would have liked. Look at that beautiful peony. I got to take a picture of that. This is Garden 1. It's going really well. Okay, we're walking over to Garden 2. No, Red, we're not herding sheep. Come on over to here. Come on, boy. And you always want to herd sheep, one-dimensional, where Lenore always wants to eat. This is an interesting one. We think this may have been the original garden of the farmhouse back to the mid-1800s. You can see some stuff coming up. There were some tulips before. Some irises are popping up. I don't know what those are. It's right in the corner of the pasture. So we're digging out all these weeds. Brought that sheep from Bedlam Farm. And here's Garden 3. No, Red, we're not herding sheep. Come on over here. Come on, Red. Good boy. Yes, that's right. It's Garden 3. This is the Dahlia garden. Red, come here. Get out of the garden. Thank you. This is was another one of Florence's gardens. It was overrun, and we dug it out. There are 14 dahlias in here, and every one of them is coming up. I think I have to get some stakes for that. It's going to be a neat garden with a beautiful view. I love it by the old stone walls, the original stone walls. This statue came from Bedlam Farm, and we think this is the old outhouse. Probably leads to the house. That's probably why the steps are there. Just a guess. Okay, Red, we're going up front. Thank you, boy. This is a rhododendron bush by the side of the house. I was going to dig it up. Maria would not let me. We didn't plant that. This is another one of Florence's little gardens, which we're going to have to weed out. I look like a yellow iris garden. This is Garden 4. Sunlight's not on here yet. We got a lot of pansies. We put a lot of seeds in here. A lot of stuff growing up. I don't know what it is. A couple of motorcycles. And Lenore, come out of the garden, honey. Thank you. Come on. And this stuff is really coming up, beginning to bloom. Put our window boxes, our pansies on the porch. Garden 4. We planted a bunch of stuff. Morning glories, peas. I don't know what the rest of it is to grow along this fence. And this is Garden 5. Which is really coming up nicely. I could get it later in the afternoon in full sunlight, which I might do. But I'm happy with this garden, right below my own study, which is right up there. And we planted 2 lilacs, several maple trees, a magnolia tree. No, Red, we're not herding sheep now. Come on, boy. Come on. We planted 2 Norfolk pines. Red, I think we're not working right now. Come on, Red. We're doing a garden tour. Thank you, Red. We'll do the sheep later. Come on, sit down. Thank you. Gardening is good for the soul, I see. I think it's important in life to balance things like gardening, meditation. I do Tai Chi, which I love. With all the demands of technology, disconnection, fragmentation, I think we have to work to balance the other side of ourselves. Be able to think inward, to think at all, to disconnect from machines. Gardening is one of the things I do to do that. Walking dogs is another, meditation is another, talking to Maria is another, taking pictures is certainly another big one. Hanging out with my wonderful dogs. Red eventually gets whatever work you're doing. He prefers the sheep, but he'll take even gardening. So that's the garden tour. I'm going to wait a little bit and take some shots of the front gardens in the sun. I think of all of them, the Dahlia garden is turning out to be my favorite. I like reclaiming someone else's garden and the spirit of Florence Walrath, which is very strong here and in her gardens. And I can't wait to see those dahlias come up. I think they're going to be beautiful. What do you think, Lenore? Thank you for helping us on the garden tour. The Bedlam Farm animals are part of a backdrop of everything. It's my barn cat, who I think thinks she's a chicken, and the chickens who think they're barn cats. I tried to keep them out of the garden, but it didn't work, so we're just rowing with it. They're eating up bugs. And here's Flo. We have 2 barn cats and 3 chickens on the garden tour. I like it here.